Today we're tackling the age-old question of whether to let our chickens breed into a barnyard mix or keep them as purebred chickens. All right, maybe this isn't an age-old question, just a question that somebody sent in my comments a few days ago. But this is a great question and one that deserves a little bit of consideration. First, what is a barnyard mix when it comes to chickens? A barnyard mix is when you have a variety of chickens all interbreeding among themselves, not caring about the specific natural breed of the chicken. And a purebred chicken is a chicken designed for specific attributes raised over time. One of those attributes may be egg laying production. Another attribute may be hardiness in specific coldness zones or heat zones, and other things may be specific looks, like this Silky, who our friends at Freedom Haven Farm raise. Some are designed even for certain types of egg colors, like this black copper Moran, which lays very dark color, rich chocolate eggs. Now, there are pros and cons to each approach, so let's start with the barnyard mix. One of the downsides to a barnyard mix is that you're going to get inconsistency within hatching, within looks, and all of the other things that you may be looking for when it comes to a purebred chicken. And you're also going to get a huge diversity within appearance in all of these different chickens. So specifically, if you're breeding for something like a Silky, something like a barnyard mix, that Silky is not going to look like a Silky anymore. And this is a big issue for a lot of people. But a huge benefit to your barnyard mix chicken is something called genetic vigor. Genetic vigor has something to do with breeding for specific traits. When you have purebred traits, you have a limited gene pool. You have a lot more genetic anomalies and birth defects, just different things that come with a limited gene pool. Genetic vigor comes into play when you have a wider diversity of gene pool between all of your chickens. So there's not one specific breed that may have some bad genetic characteristic in it that may sometimes show itself. When you have a wide array of gene pool in and among all of your birds, there's a greater chance at raising healthier chickens in the long run. So you will definitely see inconsistencies when it comes to the types of chickens that you're going to be raising if you're just letting them open breed all throughout. But you may actually see greater health benefits when it comes to your chickens in the long run. Now, when it comes to purebreds and raising purebreds and having those potential issues, which is a downside, there's actually a large benefit. That is the knowledge and the consistency of knowing what you're getting from your chickens. If you can't just have a bunch of different types of chickens running around your property and egg production matters or meat production matters, well, then it is very important to breed for those specific traits. Now, you may be able to breed for those traits among diversity of birds, but it makes it a lot easier when you're choosing the very specific breed, like a Leghorn that lays like 300 eggs a year, and keeping and maintaining those characteristics. And the best way to do it is within the genetic gene pool that is there producing that. And that's why it is easier to maintain these characteristics through purebred status. And this really makes a big difference if your birds are stuck inside of a run and you can't have too many of them. You can't have 30 birds for 30 eggs every single day. You need to maximize egg production. Then definitely consider raising just for those specific traits. But here's where that becomes an actual difficulty. A lot of us don't just raise birds for one characteristic, we raise them for multitude of characteristics. For one, we may choose the hardiness of a bird for our climate. Two, we may choose birds with multiple egg colors. And three, we also may choose birds for their egg production. And in choosing these multiple characteristics from multiple birds, they're mixed in and among our flocks. So unless we're keeping different roosters and different runs with their matched pair of hens, keeping those specific traits and those purebred qualities is a lot more difficult for a lot of us. Plus, I've got a farm, other animals to feed and work, and I don't want to deal with more tasks every single day in maintaining purebred status of my birds just by keeping them locked up in different areas and feeding them all separately. I would much rather myself keep everyone in a big open area, free ranging, getting them to open source their own bugs where I don't have to worry about them being separate. And to finish up, even though I am raising for a barnyard mix, I do have specific goals in mind. One of them is the fact that I really want a multitude of egg colors and I want to experiment with egg colors. So what we did is we bought a Black Splash Moran, which has the genetics for a darker colored egg. And to get those really cool, colorful eggs most of the time and the different colored eggs, you need to start with a dark colored chocolate egg. In order to get a green egg, you need the genetics of a dark chocolate color egg layer and a blue color egg layer. And that's something that we could do that that even though we're doing barnyard mix, we can have specific goals. But before you decide raising your own chickens, consider if you even want roosters around. Because even though they are great for helping protect your little hens, they can also see you as a threat. Just look at what happened with my rooster as I was trying to film this video. A bunch of different breeds of chickens. So, like I said in the beginning, this video idea came from a commenter who asked if it is okay to let your birds openly breed, or if I have to stick to a strict breeding regimen based off of breed-specific needs. And I love to answer questions in the comments. So, if you have questions, keep leaving them in the comments. I love to either answer them in comment form, and a lot of the times they make for great videos. So whether you see me down in the comments answering your questions, or you giving me advice, I'll see you there, or even here in the next video. And speaking of the next video, YouTube thinks that you're gonna like this one next. Let's see if they were right.